Well, the breaking news story. Police have confirmed that search and rescue operations are underway at the Hennops River in Centurion for the 3 missing police officers. 24-year-old Constable Cebekhulu Linda, 30-year-old Constable Keamogetswe Buys, and 20-year-old Constable Boipelo Senoge were travelling in a white sedan from Bloemfontein to the area of deployment in Limpopo when they went missing. So the story now, we cross to SABC News reporter Chriselda Lewis for more. Chriselda, what do we know about this story? Any new developments?
Well, Juliet, we do have breaking news at this hour. Police have just sent out a statement indicating that 3 bodies have been found here at the Hennops River in Centurion. But what is unclear at this particular stage, as the search also continues, we understand, for a 4th body. We understand that police are not yet linking that at this particular stage to the missing police officers from Bloemfontein. If I could just get out of shot at the moment, you'll be able to see we've got some of these forensics that are on scene at this particular time, and we do have a search which is still underway. The media is not able to. In fact, let's bring in Athlenda Mate from the South African Police Service. I'm going to ask my colleague if we could just come towards this direction, and let's get the latest.
Yeah, indeed, it's been a long 6 days. It's day 6 now, and our investigation has brought us to the N1 along the Hennops River. We can confirm that we have found 3 bodies, but they are yet to be identified. There are still processes that must be followed. All these 3 bodies were found along the river. We are looking for a 4th body. We are looking for the vehicle that was utilized by our police officers. So we have maximum resources here that are still searching this area. We have our forensics on the scene, and we have our air wing unit that is also still searching. It is a difficult moment for us. The National Commissioner General has sent a team to fetch the families of these 3 police officers. It's not easy for us. Our investigation is ongoing, but we have not yet identified who these 3 are. There are still processes that are underway, fingerprints being taken, DNA and so on. That's all I can say for now.
Athlenda, there's probably a reason why you would bring the family from so far to try and identify these bodies. But what I'm hearing as well is that you're saying you're looking for the 4th person.
Yeah.
Was it not 3 now?
There were 3 police officers in the vehicle that they utilized to travel to Limpopo. But yesterday, like I've indicated, our investigation brought us to this area. We found another vehicle along the banks of this river. We found the first 2 bodies yesterday already. We found the 3rd body this morning. We are still searching for the 4th body. We are still searching for the car that was utilized by the 3 police officers. So for now, it tells us there are 2 vehicles. We don't want to speculate what has happened here. We don't want to speculate, but we have found it was a Renault Kangoo panel van that was along the banks of this particular river. But we are still searching for the VW Polo and another body. So that particular investigation continues. We'd like to thank our team that has been working tirelessly, the team that has been set up by our National Commissioner General We haven't slept. All these teams that you see here, they haven't slept. It's been a long 6 days. And for us to reach this point, it's not easy. But we need closure as an organization. We also need to provide the families with closure. So that is where we are with our investigation. The families are on their way. We made means for them to travel here. They are not traveling alone. They are with our employee health and wellness unit. We've got our chaplains that are with them. We've got our social workers that are with them.
But Linda, I know this is incredibly difficult. We're very emotional at this time, and I think just very quickly before we let you go, we've got to understand your situation as well. With these police officers investigating some cases, or this has left everyone very confusing.
Look, at this stage, we don't want to rush to speculate because the investigation is still underway. It could be that they were involved in an accident and it threw them over this river. It could be that they were probably targeted for the work that they do, but let's not speculate, you know? Let us wait until we meet with the families. General Fani Masemola is going to be meeting with the families as soon as they land in Pretoria. He will be together with our chaplains and bring them to speed on what we do have at this stage. Remember, they must still identify. It's not confirmed whether it's them or not. But that is all I can say for now. So General Fani Masemola will be updating the nation later on this afternoon.
Brigadier Athlenda Mate.
I want to ask you just on because you speak about the fact that there's a lot of processes that still need to go. You can just sort of pinpoint what's the first process, where are we going, type of thing.
Like I've indicated, the first two bodies were found yesterday by police, working with other key stakeholders. Let's also thank Gauteng Traffic Police for bringing out their resources, their choppers that have been assisting us, their A-wing unit. Let's also thank Bidvest Protea Coin for bringing out their resources to assist us in this particular search. So it's now the process to identify them has commenced. Fingerprint taken, which is already underway. So we have gone to the mortuary to take the fingerprints to ascertain if indeed the three that are in the mortuary now are indeed our police officers. So we are expecting the confirmation within an hour or two, and so that when the family arrives in Pretoria, we've got solid and concrete information to give them. We can confirm whether it is their children that have been found. But the search continues. We are looking for a fourth body, as I've indicated. And as you would have seen, our A-wing unit, it's out there, it's still searching.
Brigadier, just to confirm, so you're looking for a fourth body. There was a car that was found here at the Hennops, but it is not the vehicle that the police officers were traveling in. Tests are still being done at the moment. Do we have any idea on the gender at this particular stage? You did speak about fingerprints that are being taken at the moment. Is it three or any gender at this particular stage? Anything?
So in terms of gender, with the bodies that have been found, 2 men, 1 female has been found. So we are looking for another female at this stage. That's all I can say. So those processes are underway to identify the 3 bodies that were found. But we are looking for 1 body of a female. As to how they got into the river,
the link would be.
And what happened, because there is a car, a Renault Kangoo panel van that was found along the banks of this river. As to what has happened, we are still looking for the VW Polo that they were in. So the search continues, and we are still looking for the driver, the member that was driving the VW Polo on that particular evening. We are still searching for both the vehicle and that particular member.
So 2 males, 1 female. You're searching for another female. Brigadier, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. As you can see, Brigadier Athlenda Mate updating us on the latest. What we can confirm at this point is that 3 bodies have been found. Those 3 bodies have been found. We're talking about 2 males and 1 female. And also, we understand that the search that is still underway at the moment is also relating to, they're looking for 1 other female. Now, the VW Polo that these police officers were traveling in has not yet been found, but another vehicle was found on the scene here at the moment. If my colleague Kwazimanzi can show you, these are still the forensics teams that are still on scene at this particular point. We're unfortunately not able to move beyond this particular police tape at the moment, but the search itself is taking place right at the bottom there. We're obviously as the media have been asked to move to allow them to continue to do the work that they're supposed to. But while police are indicating there is no link at this particular point, or they can't confirm whether those people that were found, or the bodies that were found, are indeed those of the missing police officers, what we're told is that the families of those missing police officers have been transported or are being transported. They're being brought to Pretoria, and the 2 bodies were found yesterday. Another was found this morning. So the fingerprints, for example, are being taken at this particular stage, and other forensics are being taken before, of course, police can confirm that indeed the bodies that were found are those of the police officers. But a very strange link also here now, a 4th body police are telling us that they are looking for at this particular time. And this is as a result of this other vehicle that was found on the scene. And this vehicle is not the vehicle that the police officers themselves were traveling in. So if we just take towards a look, I'm just going to get out of shot for my colleague on this other side. We'll show you that this is where the work is taking place at the moment. But officially what we've heard from police at this particular point is that word from police, of course, is that, SABC is confirming that its investigation had brought it here to the Hennops River in Centurion. We are along the N1. Traffic is really backed up, as you can see, as police try to maneuver through traffic here and make way for space for these forensics to also do their jobs. They've identified those 3 bodies so far. Their identities yet to be confirmed. They're searching for another body, and any other evidence at this particular point, which will, conclude the case of the missing police officers. So I guess the question would be why, they are missing. What exactly happened? But what we're hearing from police is that they're investigating. The question is whether these police officers were investigating any matter, perhaps. Were they targeted? Brigadier Athlenda Mate indicating that at this particular point, investigations are still underway. They're not sure as to what the cause may have been for these police officers to go missing. But we can confirm at this particular stage that is indeed breaking news. 3 bodies have been retrieved here from the Hennops River. It is 2 males and 1 female, and police are telling us that they're looking for another female at this particular point, having found another vehicle, not the vehicle that these missing police officers, were traveling in, but another vehicle, which leads police now to the search for a 4th body. The families, we understand, General Fani Masimula, who is the police commissioner, they've dispatched a team to Bloemfontein to get the families of the missing police officers to Pretoria. The identification process now will begin, but confirmation, of course, is that the gender of these bodies that was retrieved from the Hennops is 2 males and 1 female. A police chopper just a couple of moments ago, and we'll show you a little bit later on, a lot of resources have actually been brought in to continue the search. A few moments ago, a police chopper had also been brought in to assist, but it is quite a large team, a very huge team at this particular point that has been deployed here of forensics, police officers, and you could sense as well, the moment itself. Brigadier Athlenda Mate, very emotional as she spoke to us. It's been an incredible, difficult days, for these police officers, the police officers themselves having gone missing. And at this particular stage, they're not linking the bodies that were here to the missing police officers. As you would understand, the identification process itself needs to get underway, and that would include, of course, fingerprints. But all we have at this particular point is the gender of these bodies that have been found. That's as the search here continues. We're expected to be here for quite a long time, and the psychosocial support has also been sent with the families that will be travelling to Pretoria. And you can only imagine that process itself would be quite private in the identification, because these families, you'd recall, police had also made their way to Bloemfontein to update the nation on what they knew at that particular point. But all of this has now since developed with the discovery of these 3 bodies. We're talking about 2 males and 1 female. Police are still searching. The teams right here behind me are still searching for a 4th person, which we understand is a female, and the vehicle that was found here at the Hennops just behind me, that vehicle is a vehicle which is, we're not sure what the link is at this particular point, because it is not the VW Polo that these police officers were travelling in. So this is the situation at the moment. Those are the details that we do have. We're not allowed to go. I'm going to ask my colleague Kwazi Manzi just to maybe pan towards the direction. You'll see the Hennops flowing towards that area, and that's where these officers are operating from. They're operating from the river right here. This is in Centurion towards the N1. So what exactly could have happened, what the investigation suggests at this particular point, we really cannot say at this point. But, judging from the fact that the police have also deployed a team to fetch the families of these missing police officers, might give some kind of indication that they suspect at this particular point that those may be the bodies of those 3 missing police officers. The 4th body, how that link comes about, once again, Juliet, we certainly cannot say at this particular point, but this is a developing story. It is breaking news at this particular time, and a huge development, I guess. If indeed there is a positive identification that is made there, police would also need to try and establish, why these police officers had been targeted. Brigadier Linda indicating that they're not sure at this stage whether they were targeted, whether the vehicle itself might have rammed off here. Very unclear at this particular stage, by virtue of the fact that the police have deployed a team to go and fetch the families of the missing police officers. There might be some kind of suspicion at this particular stage that there may be a link to the missing police officers. Those are the details that we have for you at this particular stage. I'm going to try and step out of shot. You'll see that forensics bag that might be some kind of evidence, perhaps, that police have obtained at this particular point, evidence that may relate to this particular case. It's incredibly sensitive at this time, and you can only imagine what the families themselves may be going through as they've been fetched now from the Free State in Bloemfontein to come and identify the bodies that have been found. So breaking news at this particular time. Police confirming that 3 bodies have been found at the Hennops River in Centurion here in Johannesburg. We're talking about 2 males and 1 female. Police are still searching at this particular time for a 4th person. And while these investigations, of course, continue, police are also telling us at this point it's very unclear what may have led to what has taken place here. But you could obviously tell from how Brigadier Linda had been incredibly emotional. You can imagine, she did say 6 days now. It has been a 6-day search. There'd been no answers at all about exactly what happened to the police officers. I did pose a question to say were these police officers investigating a particular case that might have made them targets. Police indicating, though, at this particular stage, their investigation is not really telling them much in terms of why, but also recall the reason why I make this link, Juliet, to the fact that these 3 bodies that may have been found, police, at this particular point, seemingly believing that there may be some link would be related to the fact that the families have been asked or are being brought by police resources to Pretoria to identify these bodies that have been found. And General Fani Masimola, who is the police commissioner, is certainly going to update the nation at a later stage in terms of what it is they are able to confirm at this particular time. So at this particular stage, no word yet from police on this fourth body that they're still searching for, whether they've found it. The forensics team that you're seeing above here, at the bottom, towards the river where you might not be able to see much, because of course the media has been put behind this police line, obviously to allow them to be able to do their work, is a situation where it's a wait-and-see approach at this particular time. But police, of course, still searching for that fourth body. You can see this forensics team that has been working since yesterday and very early this morning, indicating to us that that search still continues. I see some of them towards my right bringing more evidence bags. What is it that they may have found at the scene? Would those anything that they found relating to evidence in any way be linked to what might have been the possessions of these police officers? There are still so many unanswered questions at this particular point, but what we do have is what I have been indicating is the recovery of those three bodies, and also three bodies being recovered, 2 males, 1 female. They're still searching for another female, and a vehicle that was found here at the Hennops is a vehicle which the 3 missing police officers were not travelling in. What is the link with that vehicle and this fourth body that is being sought? We're very unclear at this particular stage. But of course, as soon as police do have more information, you saw Brigadier Athleta Mate a little bit earlier on speaking to us and explaining exactly what details they have at this particular point. It's in as much as what we can report about now. You see these forensic officers bringing more evidence bags, and I could only presume from what they'd been carrying there. Perhaps let me just try to get out of this shot here. Those evidence bags, there was obviously some evidence in those bags. More are being brought in. What exactly police have found at the scene is probably questions we will pose to the police commissioner, who would obviously update the nation on what it is that they have at this particular point. But it's incredibly emotional, including for the police at this particular stage. As you can obviously tell by them getting the families, a police chopper. Just stay with us for a second. You can see that police chopper that is being brought in at this particular time. It's part of the search efforts that police have brought in. Just a little bit earlier on, this road had been closed and that chopper had landed here. So that police chopper is obviously assisting in the search at this particular point to see if they cannot see anything from that bird's eye view. While on the ground, you still have that investigation that is still underway, that operation to see if police will be able to find this fourth body that they're telling us they're looking for at this particular stage. You see the rescue teams, it's quite a huge police contingent, a rescue contingent, a rescue and recovery operation that is underway here at the moment. And with those details, I think, Juliet, I'm going to hand over to you. We'll keep you on our visuals, if you could just keep those on the side for us, because this is a developing story. It is unfolding at this particular point. Whether police in the next couple of hours will find any of, will find this fourth body that they are looking for certainly remains to be seen. But you can see there the forensics team scouring through the bushes there, trying to collect whatever evidence. But this would be incredibly very difficult for them at this particular time. If you look at this barrier where I'm standing at the moment, it does look like the barrier itself is damaged. I'll ask my colleague Kwazimanzi to show you that. The barrier itself does look damaged. Would anyone have seen anything if the vehicle itself had rammed over there. We don't have those details at this particular stage, but there is some damage there. You could even see some of those cones that have been put there would indicate to you that that is also a point of investigation. If there are any marks that the investigators will find that may indicate that the vehicle may have rammed over there. Now, this is a vehicle, we're not talking about the vehicle that was transporting these police officers that are missing. It is another vehicle, so it adds more details or you're asking more questions about how this vehicle is particularly linked to this particular incident. But it's going to be incredibly difficult. You must also remember, Juliet, that the process to identify these bodies, it's quite, we're talking about DNA samples that need to be done. But what police can tell us at this stage that it is two males and one female that they're found. But to get a positive identification, here we have the police chopper that is going to land in just about a moment. And this is part of the search operation that is taking place here on the N1. Just stay with us, Juliet, as this breaking news story is unfolding at the moment. We've got more police resources that are being brought in. This is certainly a story that has sent shockwaves throughout the country, many unanswered questions, and some of the senior police officers you would see there. I would be entitled to believe, I wonder if that may not be transporting one of the senior members of the South African Police Service. I do not know at this stage. Just stay with us, Juliet, and perhaps we'll be able to get an indication in the next few moments. It seems at this particular time there might be some senior police officers. I am not sure whether they will be making their way to the scene at this particular time, while they also try to manage the process of getting those families to Pretoria. And that's where we understand the identification process itself will be taking place. I mean, this entire block has been shut off at this particular time. You can only but imagine, was there anyone who saw what had taken place here at all at this particular stage? It seems like what is being brought in seem to be some a police personnel. I'm not sure who that is at this particular stage. It is quite far from where we are. And as you would know, in scenes like this, where investigations are still underway and you have forensics teams that are still scouring for evidence, as you can see here, that will certainly give us an indication, of, all right, it seems that was one of the senior police officers who was here, and perhaps he is being transported elsewhere now. And this is while they try to manage as well, Juliet, the family is being brought to Pretoria once again, as I indicated, for as the search itself continues. So far, what I've seen here is a couple of evidence bags, Kwazi, a couple of evidence bags here behind me, and that would give you an indication that police perhaps might have found something. Those details. Babu Sibiya, kunjani baba? Ay siyacela tata. Oh, kwaze kwanzima kodwa nkosi yami. Tata Shedrack Sibiya, you've just arrived manje. There's no link at this particular stage that is being made. What exactly do we know at the moment, General Shadrack Sibiya?
Well, what I can confirm at this point in time is that whilst we're still waiting for the family to come, we're trying to treat this matter as sensitive because obviously we don't want to say a lot when the family is not yet here. Otherwise, they're going to learn some of the things from the media, and which will actually be bad. So now, at this point in time, I don't know, as far as our communication is concerned, how far have they agreed to inform the public on, but we're still searching for the bodies.
Can you tell us perhaps, Bob Shedrack, behind you, did maybe the vehicle go over?
Well, as we can see, that we do find debris of a vehicle there, and then we also see some signs of there's a VW part that we can see as well. But there are some bodies found, but we cannot confirm at this point in time whether it is those of our members or not. Yes.
Babspear, the families have been brought to Pretoria. It's obviously going to be a mammoth task now, for these families to identify indeed if these are their loved ones. Is there any indication from police at this stage why this could have happened? Your investigation is still very... were they investigating a particular case? Is that what you're also looking into at this stage?
It could be anything, because remember it was in the early hours of the morning and they were driving. So it could be anything. At this point in time, we cannot really determine up until the investigation has been concluded.
And we know that you said you have your best people, and in this case, investigating. Have they found out why that they disappeared in the interchange?
No, we can't say they disappeared. At this point in time, we managed to confirm that they continued as they were picked up on this last hour that you can see now here at Centurion. So it's not like they disappeared at Baglu, but remember initially it was the Baglu exchange, but as the investigation continued, we managed to find out that they managed to reach this one here at John Foster. This is where we are now, opposite Macro, and this is where we see where the impact was of the vehicle that might have or that could have fallen over the bridge. It's too early to tell at this point in time. One cannot talk about the inside job when in fact we have clear signs of an accident. So at this point in time it's very difficult and unclear to actually can tell anything now.
Are we expecting the National Police Commissioner to address the country anytime soon? This is a developing story. The confirmation, of course, is on the discovery of these three bodies. And I know that the families are still being brought from Bloemfontein at the moment to Pretoria for the identification process. Are we expecting an address from the National Police Commissioner anytime soon, General?
That will certainly happen. The National Commissioner will take the country into his confidence. He will address the public.
Just lastly, I know you're not going to reveal to us, but have you found any more information?
Any more information?
Have you found new information into this investigation of the case? Even if you don't tell us exactly what it is, but is there new information?
We have. At this point in time, let's have a proper meeting with the family, and once the meeting with the family and the family are satisfied with what they have in front of them, then that is when maybe the media can know of anything that happened or that might have happened there.
I have to ask, General, just finally, are you looking at any particular suspects at this particular point? Please, I'm not asking you to reveal your investigation. It's a very sensitive matter, I agree with you. But are you at this particular point looking in any particular direction in terms of suspects?
Remember, there's still an investigation that is going to be conducted, even going further with the investigation. So at this point in time, it's too early to tell.
Thank you. General, thank you so much.
As you can see, we have an intense search and rescue. We had two helicopters flying yesterday when we were tracing the body, or tracing to see if we can find trace anything, and they managed to find some bodies. And I can tell you now that it does not necessarily mean that when you talk about the bodies, we mean that those of the members. As we are standing here now, opposite the direction, as we are flying towards that direction, some golfers there, they stopped us, they waved so that we can know, and then they told us of a body of a white person that is there. So from here we'll also investigate that part of the body. So it can be anything.
So does that mean then we have more than 4 bodies now that have been found at Hennops River?
I will say so far 4, 2 unrelated to this situation that we are investigating.
All right, so it's now 4 bodies. So 2 that were discovered yesterday, those are 2 males, just to confirm, General Cebekhulu, and then 1 this morning, and then you've now found a 4th body. Is that what you're confirming to us?
We found a body that side. We still have to go and confirm. We're sending the team now to go there where we were directed by the golfers. They say they found the body of a white male there. We'll confirm now as we speak.
I'm worried though, General, that you haven't still located the vehicle and what might have happened. bring here, because that is a crucial piece of evidence also in this case that could give you direction as to what happened here.
That is a serious cause for concern. We're still looking for the car, for the vehicle now, and maybe perhaps the other body that we think we haven't recovered.
And the tracker, in terms of the tracker, this vehicle's tracker then was picked up here, or was it picked up at the...
Those details of the investigations are the investigation that I don't want to reveal at this point in time. Safe to say that as we follow the cameras, we could locate them up to this last tower where we are.
General, I think you've shared as much as you know. So we have more breaking news, Juliet, at this particular time. Police are now confirming that 4 bodies have been found. I tell you, the story keeps developing every single moment. We're told that the 2 that were discovered yesterday, another one this morning, and a 4th body has now been discovered. If I could ask my colleague Kwazimanzi, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to pan towards the other side. We're told that's where that body was found. I'm going to try and move towards this side and just perhaps maybe show you what where I may be referring to. Take a look at this police vehicle here. You see, that police vehicle might be an indication of where. I'm going to ask my colleague Kwazimanzi to just come with me. Kwazi, if you could come with me for just a second, please. We'll take our camera just a little bit towards that particular direction. You can see also there all traffic has been brought to a standstill right here on the N1, and that's where police have cordoned everything off. Now take a look here. Just over this particular barrier, the police vehicle that is also there. I'm told that in those bushes there, that is where General Shadrack Sibiya says they've also managed, they were alerted by golfers, and golfers alerted them to the body of a white male. How all of this is linked, if this is linked at all, we're not sure at this particular stage. Kwazi, come with me this way, please. While this... I'll ask my colleague Kwazimanzi to come with me. Just take a look there. Now, all the traffic has been backed up towards that particular direction as police are scouring for any evidence that they might find at this particular stage. General Shadrack Sibiya, senior within the South African Police Service, also brought here confirmation at this particular time that we now have 4 bodies that have been discovered. We're not sure what the link is at this particular time. You'll also see that we have more of the rescue teams that are still here. The work, however, does continue towards the direction which I'm going to take you in. You're not going to be able to see it as, of course, the media have been asked at this particular point to steer clear from where you see those forensics teams are operating at this particular point. But it is breaking news at this particular moment. Police are telling us that 4 bodies have now been found. What is the link? Those 3 bodies, the families of these officers have been brought in, and they're obviously going to go through the identification process to determine if the 2 bodies that were found yesterday, the other that was found this morning, and also the 4th body which we're now told police were alerted to by golfers, which is the body of a white male. We do not know what the link is at this particular stage, but it is developing. It is breaking news at this particular time, Juliet. 4 bodies have now been discovered here at the Hennops. The link at this particular point, we heard from General Shadrack Sibiya that we are going to get an update from the National Police Commissioner General Fani Masimula in terms of what the link is at this particular point, if at all, but it's going to be a very sensitive process, a process to identify the bodies of those individuals that were found. And a key part of the evidence that is missing at this particular time is the VW Polo that the police officers were traveling in. We heard General Masimula indicate that I'm not sure if he said it was an emblem, but something relating to a VW that was found here. Now remember, the police officers were traveling in a VW Polo, right? So that may be the piece of evidence, and these evidence bags that you're seeing here, perhaps that might also be reference to what he was talking about. And at this particular stage, the story itself just keeps on developing. I don't know. I see a lot of movement towards that direction. Kwazi, I'm going to ask you to come with me, please. I don't know if there was any movement there. Okay, I think they were just trying to open up for traffic to ensure that the traffic itself does move quite smoothly. But Juliet, that is what we have at this particular stage. And all right, part of what has been cordoned off here, you could see a large police contingent I'm going to ask my colleague Kwazi Manzi just to come with me just a little bit. I'm going to try and stay out of the road here just to try and be safe at this particular point. Thank you very much, sir. We're also being told to be very careful here because this part has been cordoned off where police are continuing to do their work. I'm going to ask my colleague Kwazi Manzi to come with me once again and perhaps would be able to, from this particular point, yes, indeed. Kwazi, if you could just point towards there, that is the area that is being searched at this particular time. You may not be able to see the water from where I am at the moment, but I'm trusting my colleague Kwazi Manzi here with his good lens to show you where part of, but you're not able to see the teams from the point where we are at this particular stage. That is, I think, where, Juliet, if we can, where we're going to leave it at this particular point. I'm going to ask my colleague Kwazi Manzi just for one more time to come with me. You can see, of course, these are the search and rescue vehicles that have been brought in here. Some of the machinery that is being used also to continue with the search. On the other side, we do not know if that body, the fourth body, is related to this particular incident. We have absolutely no idea at this particular stage. But of course, the senior police have also come to the scene at this particular point and shared what they know at this particular time. It's a very sensitive issue. I mean, the families themselves have been brought in. There will be that identification process that will take place. At this particular stage, until all of that is done, will police then be able to say for certain if those are the police officers that went missing? But developing again, a fourth body has been found on the other side of this river, alerted by golfers. We don't know if it's related to this particular case, but it's astounding how this particular matter has unfolded over the past a couple of hours. We'll try to bring you the latest on whatever develops from here, live here on the SABC News channel. But I think, Juliet, we're going to let it go for just about a moment.
A lot happening there, Chriselda. Thank you for explaining to us what is going on there. Now a fourth body being found. We will catch up with you a little bit later.